G'day guys, welcome to another ToolPRO review. Today I'm looking at the ToolPRO 18 volt impact driver and brushless impact wrench. These are of course both available from Supercheap Auto. Now an impact driver is usually used for this, while an impact wrench is often used for this. But we'll go into that in more detail in a moment. First, I'll just give you some specs on these tools. The impact driver on the left has a variable speed between nothing and 2400 RPM with an impact rate of 3000 beats per minute, whereas the impact wrench on the right has a speed of up to 2200 RPM, so a little bit slower, but also 3000 beats per minute. Now, taking a closer look at the impact driver, it isn't brushless, this one. I'm guessing they're about to release a brushless one, but not yet. It has your standard 6.35mm 1/4 inch chuck. It has a collar that you have to pull forward to insert the bit. It's got a light that only works as when your finger's on the trigger, and a battery gauge that works when your finger's on the trigger also. You have forward, reverse and lock in the middle, like most impact drivers. You've got your rubber coating on the outside here, well, not rubber, thermoplastic elastomer, and yeah, it feels pretty good in the hand. It's got a bit of weight to it, it's not a light unit. Metal on the front, which is good. Now, I've been using this tool for a couple of weeks now, just for the odd little thing. I haven't really given it a good thrashing or anything yet. Haven't made it drive in real heavy stuff, but that's what I'll be doing in just a few moments. And the impact wrench, surprisingly slightly lighter. Maybe that's got something to do with the brushless motor. It is 1/2 inch square drive, as are most impact wrenches, although you can get some in other sizes. Forward, reverse, very positive, stiff, feels fairly firm. Lock in the middle as well, of course. Light, no battery gauge on this particular tool, but the light stays on when you haven't got your finger on the trigger. For how long? 10-15 seconds, there we go. Yeah, feels fairly good in the hand, it's a comfortable size. Got quite nice grips on all these ToolPRO tools I've tried so far. So let's put them to the test. First up, we'll have a look at the impact driver. Now, to make the most out of both of these tools and these tests, I am going to be using a 4 amp hour battery, but there is also 1.5 and 2 amp hour batteries available. Now, this impact driver is rated at 140 Newton meters. I don't know what that is in inch pounds or foot pounds or anything to do with pounds. So I've been using it for, like I say, a couple of weeks, so I know that it can do small screws, as you would expect any impact driver is going to be able to drive small screws, so we'll just jump straight to bigger ones. That is the true test of an impact driver. So I'm going to start off with these. They're 65mm long, 14 gauge galvanized batten screws. So I'll drive those in, and then we'll just get longer and longer. And then maybe we'll drive in some coach screws or lag screws, which is the sort of things you'd normally use these for, screws. You'd use the impact wrench for bigger things, bolts, nuts, lug nuts. Right, let's get to it. Now, this is variable speed, but only the one speed. There's no different gearbox. So, fairly easy there. Another one. So as you can see, that was pretty easy. I'm driving into pine. This is a 200mm by 50mm piece of pine. 90mm. I'm not pre-drilling any holes in these either. Easy peasy. 125mm. Now we're starting to get tricky. So that last 25 she started to struggle, did the first 100 no problem. Let's see if it'll now take them all out okay. 65. Escape. 90. Escape. 125. All good. I didn't think I had any left, but I've just found a 175mm batten screw. Let's see how she does with that with no pre-drilled hole. Well, as you can see, that was a bit of a struggle. See if it'll take it back out. Now for comparison, how about we have a look at how well the impact wrench does. Now it's got one of these rings here to retain your socket. I'm not putting the socket on in this case, I'm putting on a driver bit so I can drive in these same screws. So this would go over like this. You can also retain these with a pin. Put a pin in here, one of these pins, you see that? So you pin and you put the rubber around the outside, rubber ring around the outside, holds the pin in place. Good if you're not changing bits all the time. Right, there we go, a bit tight to get over that ring. Right, 175mm bit screw with the impact wrench. No pre-drilled hole. So this has an extra 60 Newton meters of torque, yet seemed to feel about the same as doing it with the impact driver. But hopefully it does a lot better on bigger stuff. Now I haven't got much in the way of coach bolts laying around. I don't really use them much anymore. But here is a galvanized 10mm coach bolt, 120mm long. I'm going to drill an 8mm hole and then I will drive this in with the impact driver, hopefully. So here's our 8mm. Now that drill bit is about 15mm short of the length of the bolt, so it might not go all the way too easily. We'll see. Now to drive bolts and things, these big hex heads, sorry, you'll need to put an adapter into your impact driver that you then turn it into a 1/2 inch square like the impact wrench. Now this one is angled so that you can use it on an angle there, 5-degree slant. Very, very handy. Right, let's drive this in. There you go, she had no trouble at all getting through that. So for most people that will be ample for what you need. She's a good little driver. I'm happy with that. Let's now turn to the impact wrench. We'll take out this bolt we've just put in, screw. No problem at all there. Let's take this outside and have a go at the lug nuts on my van. The lighting on the van's not very good at the moment, so I'll use my wife's car. So I'm going to have a go here with the lug nuts on the car with the impact wrench. It's a 19mm socket on there, and hopefully it will take them off, and then I'll put them back on if they do come off, and I'll try it with the impact driver and see if that can take them off. Lighting's better now. 21mm. So the impact wrench did alright on the wife's car. It was a little bit tougher for it on the van. I went around and had a go at all the nuts and it missed a few. Got most of them. There's about one on each wheel that it couldn't get undone. So in summary, I think these are pretty well built tools. They're not, like I say, built for your high impact, high usage tools, that sort of thing. They're not trade tools, but they're perfect for around the house. I like the little impact driver. It's been serving me well, so I would recommend those to anyone who just needs the odd bit of usage. I'm going to carry on using this impact wrench. I'll use this next time I've got a lot of nuts to do up on bolts on a job like a deck or something like that. Driving in coach screws, and the odd time I need to take lug nuts off the van. I would not use a impact wrench personally as much as an impact driver. I use impact drivers every day, love them. Use them for drilling holes, driving screws, brilliant things. You got a good impact driver, you don't even need a drill really. It's like a multi-purpose tool. It's a great little tool. So that's another one done, guys. Still got a few more ToolPRO tools to look at. Until next time, you can check out these other ones I've already done up the side here. Subscribe, click the little bell next to the subscription thing so you get some notifications from me, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's have a look how much battery we used here. Two lights, each one's used about 1/3 of the battery power in the tests I've done. I have done more than what is in the video. Editing cuts some of them out because I always make too much and waffle on too long, as I am right now. See ya.